Hello everybody, it's Kristen. It's time for a scrapbook process video and it is Scraplift Crafternoon. Let me show you the original. Of course, we'll have the links below to the original creator as well as everybody playing along in the hop. And I always forget to say this at the beginning, and I should. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I know that I watch people forget to subscribe and then I may or may not see their video. So if you're interested in what's going on here on this channel, because you know I'm that kind of gal, just make sure you subscribe. So anyways, that's what I normally do at the end. Did it at the beginning this time because why not? Here's the original. This is really neat. She's framed it, which I adore because that is a thing for me. And she has all these circles. I'm imagining almost like bubbles or something. She's stitched around them. Y'all, I'm going to totally cheat, and I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. It's cute, though, because she's got, like, these bubbles and whatnot, because she's got this, like, ocean-y picture. But it's cute. It's a couple, and she's got this floral thing here. She's got little wordy bits. Just some little butterflies and sequins in there. Love this layout. But I'm totally cheating, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. I got 1,000 sheets of Vicky Bouton's Flower Emporium, and so I decided, you know what, I'm going to use some. I remember she had circles, so I'm going to use this as my circles, y'all. I'm going to, like I said, I'm kind of cheating here. I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to mat it on this piece of paper. I may use the blue to mat my photo. She does have, like, I'm going to call it 3 photo mats plus the photo mat. So she's kind of stair-stepping it down. So I may do something with that. I got a lot of paper in here. And so, this is me and my hubby, by the way. I went with the whole couple thing because I thought that'd be cute. So I might kind of stair-step it down a little bit. I'll need to trim this down just a hair. And then, I don't know. I really don't want to stitch, you guys. I may take a pen or something, maybe. I don't know. We'll see if I do anything. And then she's got that big cluster there. I have some pre-made clusters. I don't know if any of these are going to work, though. Like, these are already made from that class that we did. So these are 2 square, I think. So those are probably going to work. But I could make a cluster. I could certainly make a cluster. So I may do that because I have all these goodies. And that could be fun, right? So I may do that. I don't know. And I do have these puppy stickers here. So she's got a title. Hers says happiness is this. Let me see. What do we got in the way of the titles here? What does that say? Wildflower this week, laughter, sunshine. I don't know. I'll think about it because there's Trust Your Heart. I think I've already used that, actually. I did. It was on my daughter's wedding dress layout. So I'll think about it because I don't really have a title in mind per se. And I do have all the, like, cardstock stickers and stuff like that. So I don't know. It was a weekend because it was an event. So maybe I could do something like weekend together, but that's kind of little. I don't know. I need to think on that. But this is what I'm starting with. And like I said, I'm kind of cheating. So I'm okay with that. I think it's okay. All right, let me get a little cutting and I'll be back on in a second. Well, y'all, this layout should not have taken me long at all. And yet it's been on my desk for 2 straight days. I just had stuff going on. I haven't got to come over here because I literally only had to glue butterflies down, which you'll see at the end. Basically, I've cut down my polka dot paper there to fit inside my little diagonal stripe. I did get the little diagonal stripe. You see the stuff on the left over there. What I decided to do, I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys. I didn't listen back to my own intro because I'm behind. I thought initially about tracing these circles. I even tested one underneath where I knew the photo was going to go. And I changed my mind because I have all these rub-ons with cup rings, but you'll see that in just a second. So first I'm going to go ahead and mount this photo here. And I do kind of do the multi-layer thing, you know, where she's got like, I guess 4 different layers, but the photo has a little white border printed on it. So I decided to go ahead and use the little stripe as a photo background mat. And I like this a lot, y'all. I'm not going to lie. This turned out really cute. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you it took lots of effort. I do end up finding I want to call it pre-made cluster from one of the class in just a little bit. It was actually kind of buried. I was telling my friend Tara, I need to really organize that binder or that container there a little better because things are like clipped together, but I'm still finding myself digging and digging and digging. And that's just not good because I'm going to miss out on some cute embellishment I'm going to kick myself later. So I did find this little piece of, well, that may be the back side now that I say that. Blue flower, so that's a layer. And then I did have this piece of like grid paper, so I'm looking for this to be another layer. And I like this a lot because it kind of has that little like yellow pinky florally thing up there. And then in a second, I'm going to actually get into my little bin over there because there are some layers, like big journal pieces type deals, or I'm imagining she may be thinking of them as cluster bases. But I'll get in that in a second because that's going to actually be my, what's called fourth layer, I guess. So I'm building this little like, maybe it's a waterfall, staircase, whatever you want to call it. I do see that it needs another layer. So I'm starting to dig into this. I'm also finding my little various different pieces of things. Oh, here it is. So I've got all my little like bigger journal pieces clipped together. And this is what I mean. Like things are kind of clipped together, but like I had to kind of almost... It was in the bin, like not in a way that I would necessarily find easy to look for necessarily. I thought about that little clipboard looking thing, but I thought, oh, I'm going to lose so much of that piece of art in a way if I stick it all the way back behind there. She technically had a tabby over the photo, and I'm just realizing I left it off. So, oops, that's not on there. I did find this little blue like library card. So that's going to be my fourth layer. And I'm loving that a lot. I'm not really losing much by using it as a layer piece. So you kind of see that. And then... I think I'm going to start messing around with these ephemera thingies. I'm going to start digging through, looking to see. I was going to build a cluster like I mentioned. I don't know what I'm doing now other than I go looking at rub-ons and I decide, oh, wait a minute. These little ring circly things might work instead of her stitching. So I get an idea there and I'm like, yeah, this will work. And also it's got all those little dots and little splatters and stuff like ink splatters. And I'm going to basically use that in lieu of the sequins because why not? I do have a lot of sequins. It's not like I couldn't have, but I just thought these would look kind of cool, interspersed. I will tell you that when I lay these down, I do something I probably necessarily wouldn't recommend unless you are okay with the risk. But you'll notice that the little polka dot or the little splatters are inside the ring. Well, I'll do it in a minute, so I'm not going to tell you right this moment. I have not glued that polka dot down. Obviously, you can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and scuff the edges of it, which I've said this before. I scuffed the edges of that and then nothing else. Why to do that, I couldn't tell you. I didn't even scuff the edges of the photo mats because I've already glued them together, right? But I go ahead and scuff the edges and then lay it down on top of the little diagonal there. I just realized I got a little bend on one of my pieces. It's okay. Actually, I have to change up. Did I have to change up my ATG? At some point, I have to change up my ATG because my glue ended. I don't know if it's on this layout now that I say that, though. Like I said, this has been here for 2 days, y'all, so I've done forgot what I did. I have to tell, I think I've made this in a recent video, too, that when I do my own layout shares, I'm like, oh, I forgot about that layout. How do we do that, y'all? Like, how do we forget what we've done? It's so crazy. I realized it's a little crooked, so I realized I had the stripes going a direction I didn't want them to go. Like I want them to go down and to the left. I don't know why that is. My brain just likes the stripes going that direction. And so I could have rotated the polka dot paper, but it also has like a little bit of like distressing looking stuff, like inky almost looking like faux mixed media on it. And I didn't want to lose where those locations were. So that's why I kind of rotated the paper that way. So here I am. I'm going to go with this rub-on. And this is what I mean. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and just put the whole rub-on down. And I'll leave the polka dots in there. And that doesn't bother me. But then the other ones, I thought, I don't really want those all in there. So you'll see in just a minute, I'm going to do it kind of a way I wouldn't necessarily recommend. Which is basically, I do cut the circles out. But then when I do the circle rub-on, I'll do the circle with the polka dots in the middle. But try not to touch the dots to the thing. And I'll let you guess how it turns out. You'll see it in just a second. So here I'm going to go ahead and cut out these various different little colors here. I've got this little orangey color. So I've got like a little charcoal color. There's 3 of those actually. And then there's a charcoal color, or excuse me, an orange color. There's kind of a pinkish color. And then there's this like little greenish color. And I make those kind of match kind of in a way where she stitched. It's not perfect because she stitched a few more circles than I actually lay down in the way of rub-ons, but I'll put those down kind of where the black ones were, if that makes sense, on her layout, sort of, kind of. I do overlap 2 of them, but the rest of them, I don't overlap the circles, but I will overlap the polka dots. I will tell you, these are really good rub-ons for layering. I mean, they're really good. These are, you'll see other people and you'll comment on the kind of the high quality of these rub-ons, and they really are. They'll layer really nicely. You get a really nice effect with them. So You're just kind of seeing me fast. I'm just trying to figure out, okay, where do I want these things? And so far, I haven't even found my little cluster on the left-hand side of the photo, which I will in a second as well. Again, this wasn't actually too hard. I mean, if I had not walked away from it, I would have done this in probably, I don't know, an hour or something like that, maybe. Some of it's just decision-making, and it has to do with my organization as it relates to this collection. I was really proud, though, because I was able to use, some elements that maybe I wouldn't normally. I don't know. I think I'm looking at the laser cuts. I love the laser cuts too, but I did not get into those this time. I did not. I put those aside and did not use any of those, except in the fact that the embellishment cluster that I ended up pulling out has laser cuts in it, but it was already made up, so I didn't go and like get my own. So now you can see the embellishment cluster I've got, which has like a little tag, and then it has like organic honey jar with the flowers tucked in it. That was the other neat thing with this collection. She made little elements that have slices in them, so you can tuck in the florals. Really unique. I like that a lot. This says like moments like these, fabulous, that kind of stuff. And I think now might be where I'm doing the rub-ons. So this is what I mean. I'm taking and I'm laying it down there, but I'm trying my best not to get the middle part. So I'm doing the circle on the outside and then setting aside the little polka dots. You see, I'm gonna flip it over so I don't touch the desk, because if you touch the desk or you touch whatever, you may lose your rub-on onto that. So I flipped it over so it's upside down right now, and I'm doing these others. Again, I'm not sure I would necessarily recommend this, but short of getting out my X-Acto knife and kind of cutting them out or poking the scissors through, I was like, I'll just see what happens. If it left a little, polka dot or something, it wasn't going to be the end of the world. But I actually I was actually lucky, or it worked like I thought, which was it did not put the polka dots in the middle. I was able to go around them. So I love how this is turning out, though. And because I'm going to actually come back in with the little splatters and kind of mix the colors up from the rings. So because the original, if you looked at you can see there, the green has the green splatters in it. The orange had the orange splatters. And I didn't really want that. I wanted it kind of all around. So, again, I'm flipping those over so you can kind of see. It's interesting. You kind of see the same little pattern on the colors there of the little dots. But I didn't notice that originally. The dark gray and then the little green, and they're kind of the same. But it's okay because you put them in different places on your layout. I did overlap. You can see that green and that charcoal kind of in the middle next to the photo, because she had two. Again, she has multiples, but there's like that right in the middle. That one for me was, on her layout, she had like an overlapped stitch circle. So that was kind of my intention there. And then here's where I'm just going to put the different color splatters across the different color rub-ons. Because, just to make a color balance all around. That takes me just a second. I might should have cut some of this out, but I kind of wanted you guys to see how these rub-ons work, because they are quite nice. And you can see, like I said, they're going right on. Very little, like effort. They're just rubbing off really easily, and they layer really nicely. I think I told you guys this photo is just me and my hubby at an event. I drag him to these things sometimes. He'll go with me sometimes. He likes to just spend the day with me. I think he gets bored of all the rah-rah stuff. If I'm 100% honest, you guys, my husband's not like even with his corporate job, like he has a corporate job, he is not a fan of, like, what do you call those corporate, like, rah-rah meetings where they talk about results or they talk about the great employee survey things. Or he's just not any of that. Like, that's not he doesn't like it at all. He's not much of a, what do you call it? Not team player. He does play nicely with his team, but he just, I don't know, you guys. He's just kind of like, he's in IT, they're just a different breed. You know what I mean? Although he's funny. He's kind of an introverted extrovert. No. Extroverted. No. It's like he becomes an extrovert once he gets to know you, but before that he's like very sheltered. Like he doesn't want to like be out there. So he's funny though. But if you get him to a party and he meets somebody, he'll always make a friend. He's funny. He always makes a little friend at any given event. But otherwise he doesn't want to go. It's like dragging him to anything. But then once he gets there, he's really happy. So, well, after a little bit. I shouldn't say immediately, but anyway. Okay, so I put all my rub-ons down, and now it's time for the title. And I was kind of telling you guys about different little things. Well, I decided to kind of build a title. I do use a rub-on. It says, all mine, and I love it. So I kind of love that. I'm going to cut that out right here and do that. And then I'm going to get on the puffy stuff, and I'll pull a few different words out. And it's going to end up being, hey, precious you, all mine, and I love it. And I guess it's all mine always, and I love it. It was kind of a long title in a way, with all these various little pieces, and I kind of love that, because she did have, it looks like an acrylic piece, and then like some maybe typewritten journaling, so it's like different textures and stuff, so I was kind of proud of, pulling in these different textures and all that. Again, here I'm going with this rub-on. I'm really proud I got into these rub-ons, y'all. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a huge rub-on user, even though I like them. I just don't pull them out that often. They don't come to mind. Although in these collections, you almost kind of can't help it because they're so pretty. But here I am kind of building this. I will have to come in with Nuvo glue behind hay. I'll come in with Nuvo glue because these puffies, they're not real sticky. And I've said this before, I think that's actually on purpose so you can kind of move them and adjust them and different things like you want to before they're permanent. So I do come in with Nuvo glue behind the puffies. And then I will actually pull out these butterflies because she did have butterflies on her original layout. And there's, you know, obviously some butterflies in this collection. And I'll just pull out 3 little butterflies because that's basically what she had. Put them kind of where she had them as well. And I'm kind of looking at that, y'all. I'm kind of going, okay, I need to figure out to be a little bit better organized here. I will come back in. This is actually, at the moment, I set these down and I walk away for 2 days because I don't glue these. I don't even glue these butterflies. And that's all I had left to do was to glue the butterflies down, but I walked away. So I have sat down. I will now have glued my butterflies down, or I'm fixing to glue them down. And basically, once I get this done, I didn't even date this thing, y'all. I probably should have. She's got a date stamp at the bottom right. Maybe I'll come back in and do that. I have to look on my phone what the date is. And after this, though, I'm going to be done, y'all. I thought this turned out really cute. So thank you guys so much for watching. I think this is a great collection, too. I mean, I'm just ramble and carry on, but I love it. But make sure you check out the playlist below. Everybody, you know, that's playing along with us down there, the original poster will be down there. And, yeah, all the good stuff. So also make sure you do the like and subscribe. I'm going to have a hop, by the way, this month. Is that right? Yes. Maybe it's October. I need to find that. I'll put that in a video at some point and let you guys know when the hop is to celebrate my 2,000 subscribers. So we will see you soon. Bye.